Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you hey okay? In your neck of the woods? What up? What up? Manners and respect, man. I your girl, Debbie from Yard. Welcome you all to the Jamaican kitchen. Welcome once more. It is the Jamaican cooking journey. If you're new right on over here, special welcome to you. Those of you who were there with me from the beginning of the journey and you're still here, manners and respect. Now today's video is a little baking video. Long time when I slap up something in the oven. Not true. And long ages, not true, girl, a long time when I bake. But this video is a video that I had on my list of to do videos. And I wanted to do this video for over a year. And I was thinking I wanted to do it on the other channel. I wanted to do it this time. I was weighing my mind, you know, where should I do it? Because I want to this video is mostly for the people who just can't bake, not who would love to bake. It is definitely not for the people who can bake. Some people just them can't bake for save them life. I mean, no, so them have them nice mixer in them kitchen and they would love to bake, and I think that video will help them. So in order for you as a you know, new baker, early baker or something, for me the first thing I learned to bake was a basic plain cake. As a little girl in the country, I learned to bake it the worst way. I learned to bake it on kerosene stove, put it in a zinc pan, reinforce, put the zinc pan height up after the kerosene stove, try to gauge it, and put a little rock in the zinc pan and put my cake. Yeah, I did so many things back then. I didn't have an oven. And that is why, if you notice, I said a few times on my second channel, my biggest luxury was a kerosene oil stove growing up as a little girl. I will never forget that. That was what I learned to bake my basic plain cake on. So today, we're going to do one in this. This tin is about 7.5. It's not as much as 8 inches. 7.5 inches. So we're doing like one of the smallest set of plain cake. You know, basic plain cake. And I'm using the long time, like old time back then method. Because you can do plain cakes now with oil and stuff, but that comes out lighter. So you would use like frosting. But when you do it this way that I'm going to be doing it, you can use icing, you know. So I'm going to do this one for you, the basic one, the original one. And then I'm going to do it another time, the one that you use the oil and stuff in. And then you will see the difference, the texture of the cake, the difference. One will be a bit lighter. So this one, also in this one, I'm going to be showing you what self-rising flour is. How you make your self-rising flour at home. Okay? I'm going to show you a self-rising flour, not an excitement. It is just something where you can make it in your kitchen. Who knew that? Now, I'm going to be using 2 cups of flour in this recipe. But you don't worry yourself. I will leave the little measurements for you in the description, because I want you to put it in a 7-inch pan. If you're a new baker, just follow what the measurements I give you. We will move on to an 8-inch and a 9-inch at some other point in other videos. So I'll be using 2 cups of flour in here. This is what I'll be using for this cake. So may I make sure my level off. So this is half cup. So it will be 4 of this one. That's 4 of this that I'll be needing. Okay? 2 cups of flour. So I'll be needing 4 half cups. That is what it's gonna give me. 2 cups. So we have 3 there. So that's 2 cups of flour. Now, I have here about a little less. This is like about half of a teaspoon, wow, of salt. Should have something with a bigger mouth family. But I'm not going to put all of this salt. So I think I'll be using about a little less than half teaspoon of salt. And in here, I'm going to be putting a tablespoon of baking powder. Okay? I will be sifting this right through, but I'll be using my spoon because if I go otherwise, it's gonna mess up the place. I didn't even realize, family. Come like me not ready for camera. Will I be losing some of my flour? I can't afford to. So I'll be using this to sift out most of it. This is self-rising flour. Self-rising flour is all-purpose flour with baking powder, salt, and you sift it, bring it to mix, bring it, sift it out. That's what is called self-rising flour. So, wow. This is such a mess. Let me go finish this and return, family. Okay, now, family, we are back. And I'm sorry for that mess. But you know what happened? I thought I don't know what happens. We are humans and some things happen. So we lost about 3/4 of a tablespoon of the flour. My counter was clean still, but I still did not use that one. I could have used it if I wanted, because I really don't keep dirty counter and stuff. Okay? So this is my 2 cups of self-rising flour. This is your homemade self-rising flour. Your all-purpose flour, and whilst you sieve, it would mix it thoroughly together. So I lost my momentum by not having a wide family time at the AC and but chemicals and the hot flash head. Una see with me. I know una not hold me guilty, don't it? Not really guilty. Una not hold me to that. But you know some people will come type something, but who cares? Now look at me here now. So this is your self-rising flour. So they would do this for you and pre-pack it, and then you would have self-rising flour. Telling you that when you have a recipe and it says self-rising flour and you buy your self-rising flour in the shop supermarket, do not put any more baking powder in there. Salt and baking powder is already added to it. Okay, family? That's it. Okay? Let me repeat. When you buy your pre-packed self-rising flour, no need to add salt and baking powder. A tip for you, because I know some people just did not know. Okay, now family, we have so it's a plain cake. Would take about 30 to 35 minutes. So we have preheated our oven at 170. You could go 175, but I would say 170. It's just a small plain cake, okay? So let's go at 170. And these cakes are supposed to be baked in ovens that are considered almost slow, okay? So now, you're gonna be, so we have made our self-rising flour ahead of time. I'm gonna show you, so you get that part there. We're going to be using some white granulated sugar for your plain cake. You don't need brown sugar. You wouldn't use brown sugar. You use white granulated sugar. So you're going to cream sugar, white granulated sugar and butter. I'll tell you in the description how much butter or how much margarine. Okay? So let us go now, put in our margarine and return. So we have got our butter and our sugar in here. I've used a little less sugar, because you can always, if it says a cup, you can always use 3/4 of a cup if you want to go low on the sugar. Using 3/4 of a cup won't do any harm. The sugar puts moisture in the cake. So if it calls for 1 cup and you use 3/4, it won't do any harm, because I'm trying to go low on the sugar. Okay? So we have our paddle attachment, and then we are going to be creaming soon. Now, it says this recipe, this is a recipe that I had originally. I'm going to take it from the Google or nothing. This is mine that I had in a little book some donkey years ago. I remember it quite vividly. Now, we're going to be using eggs. We are going to be using water. I did say to you before, the recipe says milk, but in baking, wherever milk is needed, most of the times water can be substituted. Okay? If you want to stay, you know, some people don't want the milk and all of that, you can use water. But for whatever the reason you don't have no milk or you don't want it, you use water. Okay? Now we have left out, we have used our baking powder already. We have used our salt. We have a little white vanilla here. And I have got here some eggs. It says 3 eggs. Back then, those eggs were really large. So I'm going to be using 4. Okay, so I crack my 4 eggs then. And you need to crack your eggs into something to make sure that these eggs are intact. So I'll be cracking them one at a time and then putting them in whilst when we are ready. So right on over here, we are going to start the creaming process. Okay? Okay, now family, so we'll lock the thing and we're going to start. Always start beating out your eggs, your butter and your sugar on a low speed. So we're going to start on like 2, just to kind of get it mixed together, and as we proceed you can carry it up to about 3. Okay, next time I'm doing this baking video I'll have to set the mixer at an angle where the camera can show you. Okay, we never get that started out yet. Okay, now that it's at that, you can take it up a little and then you want to start mixing your creaming your butter and your sugar. We're going to cream this butter and this sugar until we reach the desired texture. Then I'll come back and I'll show you. Okay? Okay, now while creaming, you're going to be stopping at a few intervals to get everything incorporated. So what you want to do, you want to have your spatula or whatever, and you want to scrape around, push down to make sure everything get down in there. This is a small cake. Okay? So you want to make sure you stop at least 2 times whilst doing this creaming method to get everything pushed down and scrape around or whatever. Then you come back to your medium and you continue. So when you see me next, this should be through and we're going to be putting in our eggs one at a time according to them. Me soon come. Okay, now family, so we're scraping around and look at me here. You want to mix it until when you hold it, you see it. You could mix, we could mix it a little more too. We could cream it a little more, have it falling off the spatula. You just want it to be all that soft, so let us go cream it a little more. Okay, now family, so we put up our mixer on high speed. Okay, now family, time for the eggs, 1 at a time. And that went 2. So if you go 2, that's how you have to roll with it. Okay, beat the eggs on medium. Start to beat them on the medium. So when you beat them for a time, you want to scrape around. Remember, you got to scrape around. Okay, so remember, you got to scrape around to make sure everything that is on the sides there is incorporated. I look like me not even have the right spatula, but we live. So we're gonna put in our other 2 eggs now, and you make sure you get everything all scraped around. So we are gonna be mixing everything inside the mixer. Okay, so you're gonna come back now on the medium and you're gonna continue beating these eggs. When we're through, we'll come back to you. Okay, now family, this is how it looks with the egg, the sugar and the butter. Okay, the egg, the sugar and the butter. Final mix right there. Now you can put in your dark vanilla. I'm putting in just like, this is like a tablespoon of white vanilla. That's what I'm putting in. That's the only flavoring. I'm putting in half of a teaspoon of freshly squeezed lime juice to combat that egg rawness right in there. Okay, and at this point now we'll be getting our flour, putting in alternately. Must soon come. Remember now, this is our self-rising flour, salt, baking powder and the flour. This is the mixture. So you want to put in, remember this is for starters, that is why I'm doing it like this. We want to get this in 3 different batches alternately. So now that this is that, we put in, I want to use it in 1/3. So we put in 1/3, so this is 2/3 that is left. So okay, we're gonna put this on low, beating in the flour on low. Okay, you're gonna beat it in on low. As we go along, we're going to be beating it on low. Then you're going to stop And we're gonna be doing the same thing as we did when we were using the egg and all of that. You want to scrape around the excess flour that is on the side there. You want to get it right in, right there. Make sure everything is incorporated. We are gonna do the same thing with the rest of the flour. So the other 2/3 of the flour, we're gonna be using it in 2 batches. Put it in. When it reaches a certain part, we put in the other rest. And then when we reach the last, that's when we are going to know how much water we want to put in there. Must soon come. Okay, we are on the final mixing now, family. And we have added just a 1/4 cup of water. Because seeing that we use 4 eggs, we got a little extra moisture from the other eggs. So we had only needed a 1/4 cup of water. So we are doing our final mixing now. We have scraped around our edges and we'll be... anytime soon we'll be finishing. I want you to look at the mixture as it goes around on the mixer, right in the mixer right there. Okay, you mix it and mix it until it comes out with this smooth texture. And at this point I think we are through. We are ready. Okay, so this is it. You want to look at it. You see that creaminess coming off right here? I'm gonna unplug my mixer before me touch all of them something here. A lot of people use something. Your hands are clean. Your hands must be clean. This is why I always emphasize on this. You don't want to lose on your mixer. So you put your thumb and your index and you clean your something. A lot of people, you see they're using the spatula. Cannot clean this, family. The spatula won't be able to clean this. You need your mixture. So you just do this, okay? You have your bounty. Look at me here. You use your 2 fingers and you have your bounty and you're good to go. You just take a piece of bounty. When you do this, you don't bother wet your hands. You just take a piece of bounty and you just clean off your finger like that and we're good to go. We're going to position ourselves now to scrape in our cake pan and then we'll be putting it into the oven. Must soon come. So look at me here. This is what our mixture looks like. This is what it looks like. And look at me here. You see this? This is the basic plain cake mixture. So you're going to scoop inside your pan now, which will be lined, greased and lined properly. And you see that fluffiness that is going on in there. Yeah. And remember, you can't have the pan all full. We have to leave space for rising. Okay? So you want to scrape out all of your mixture out of your something. I can go do this and come back to you now. You get all of your mixture out. And you see we don't have no raw flour, green up and a skin up and a go on up in it. Laverne. Big up yourself, Laverne Campbell. Manners and respect. At this point, do not slam down this cake tin, family. We now work a waff. Okay? We now work with palette. You see? So you just gentle. And you just use this. You could also not do it either. When the heat takes this in the oven, it will level it off. You can almost never do this. You know, when the heat takes this in the oven, it will level it off. So now, the cake's supposed to come way up to the top. 170, I told you, we're going in for 30 to 35 minutes. Must soon come. Okay, now family, we have just taken our cake from the oven and it is ready, I think. So I'm going to test it. I can't find my cake tester. So I'm going to use a skewer. A little biggish, but it's still intact. So remember, I'm telling you now, not to use this. If you're new here, we don't use these big knives. We use these to slice. We don't use these. This is the biggest thing. A skewer, a cake tester, which is a very slender, slim thing, and a toothpick, a skewer can be used as well. So in the center of the cake, and you want to put it, pull it out, and it comes out clean. Once the center comes out clean, everywhere else is clean. That's it. That is how you test for the cake. Now I've put this thing on a wire rack in the pan. We're gonna leave it on the wire rack in the pan for about 15 minutes. All right, after 15 minutes, what we can test, and you see our cake is it's quite you know, movable in the pan. So we're gonna leave it on the wire rack in the pan for about 15 minutes. When we return, we are gonna take it from the pan and leave it directly on the wire rack for about 30 minutes to cool. I soon come. Okay, now family, 15 minutes on the wire rack. and in the pan. So we want to get it from the wire rack from the pan directly onto the rack. So what you want to do, you want to put, and you notice we have it as it cools, it goes down. The cracks, this could be overbeaten, and most of the times I always, if you notice me, I always cut and fold in my flour. It could be a little bit of overbeating from the mixing, incorporating the flour in the bowl. Also, it could be probably the nature of the flour, the type of flour that we use, because you know some all-purpose flour, it's always different. You could also use cake flour. I forgot to mention that, and I made a mistake. 45 minutes to 1 hour for 170 degrees or 350 Fahrenheit, 170, 175 Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, 45 minutes to 1 hour. I will leave all of that information for you in the description so as you not to go wrong. Now we are gonna, so you can always press it down, and you have to make sure the pan is still warm. So you just want to invert it. And this is what it looks like. So you want to get it now directly onto the wire rack. Don't do as I do, it's really hot. Don't do as I do. I am going to be doing it so fast now. This is it. Don't do as I do. Right there, half an hour on the wire rack, directly on the wire rack. When you see me again, we are going to come get it onto one of these plates, and we'll be taking out a slice for you to see the texture of the cake. I soon come. So now family, it's not fully cool, but we have removed it from the pan, and then you could probably sink it a bit. If you notice, it rose above the pan because probably of the amount of mixture. If you had 2 7-inch and you want to get like a sandwich cake, and you know, to put it together, and you could also put this in too, take off some of the top here, but that is not on this video. We'll do that on another video. I'll show you on other videos, not necessarily my next video, how you can turn this into a nice little birthday cake and all of that by cutting it into 2, putting in the icing in the middle, and then you can, you know, decorate and put on your thing. Now we want to take a slice. Now this is the time when if you want to use a 28 so machete to slice, you can use it. This is the time when you use any form of knife. It doesn't matter the size. So we want to go from the middle, and we want to take out a piece. You see how easy the knife is going down in there? Okay, so we are taking out a slice, and we should have something, yeah, that we can put it in to show you. It's not properly cool. As it cools down, it will get more moist and all of that. This is your perfect, look at the texture. This is your perfect plain cake, starters plain cake for starters. It's baked to the core. Okay, if you have liked this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the Jamaican cooking journey. When you do subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, leave your comments below, and you'll be in the post notification crew. Okay, this video is for starters. Some time ago, some people were asking, Miss Debbie, I can't bake to save my life. I had it, wanted to do for this summer. I wanted to make this summer a real, for starters, baking summer. But can I tell you, no, the heat and the water, it just never worked. Remember, we are going to be picking up on these, and as we go along, for starters, baking videos for starters. Debbie from Donga Yard, bless, no stress.